This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your hosts. I'm Grace.
And I'm Alexis.
And we are in our 3-month-long holiday arc.
Like how we both just did
We did an arc shape with our hands for those watching on YouTube. Quick plug for our YouTube, Saturday Morning Mysteries. You can see our faces. You can see images from the shows.
From the shows.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like a thing. I feel like British people would say froms. They had S's on a lot of.
From the shows.
It was the shows.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry for anyone who's English and listening to this, and we just offended and they're turning it off already. Please stay.
We won the war.
Like we like to say, we won the war. We can say whatever we want. Yeah. But speaking of perhaps the British, and let's just say British coming to America, perhaps, and probably from other places in Europe and all that jazz before we won said war. What could we be talking about? It's Thanksgiving. And that is our November arc. So for those just joining, usually we do different shows. We do like 8 episodes per show, and those are our arcs. But starting in October, it's holiday season. We got a lot of holidays going on. So instead, we choose any show we want, as long as it has some way to tie in.
To do with the holiday of that month.
It's a pretty loose definition. So we just finished our Halloween arc. That one's a little easier. We're now in our Thanksgiving / fall autumnal. How do you say it?
Autumnal.
I think you said it right
autumn,
the first time.
Damn it.
Our autumn vibes.
Yes.
Season. And today Alexis will be telling us a Thanksgiving / fall / whatever she ties it into
autumnal.
November. Thank you. That word. That she's gonna do that with her episode today.
Yes.
Whatever that thing is. Let's take it away.
Thank you. I shall. It's funny too, because I feel like it was last week when we were plugging that we were getting ready to start Thanksgiving. We were like, maybe we'll shift it to just fall theme / Thanksgiving, because it's kind of hard to come across like explicitly Thanksgiving themed cartoons that also I mean, I guess, there's like Charlie Brown and stuff like that. And like there's other stuff, but that doesn't really fit into the Saturday Morning Mysteries sort of vibe. But nonetheless, I do actually have a pretty Thanksgiving-y episode. Ooh. So I'm excited for this one today. And I'm throwing it back with a massive, massive classic. I'm talking one of the granddaddies of animated, like Saturday morning / just like animated shows. Our parents watched it growing up. It came out long before we were born.
Oh, wait, am I going to know this show?
I'm sure you've heard of it, but I don't know if you've ever watched it, because to be honest, I've hardly even ever watched it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm very familiar with the main character because he is a creation of Hanna-Barbera.
Okay.
In what was their second series ever created.
Whoa. Wait, what was their first series? That's fascinating.
First series, damn it, I almost wrote it down.
All right, it's fine, doesn't matter, whatever.
It's like Riff Raff something, I don't know, but this was the second show that Hanna-Barbera Productions ever made.
Okay.
And it is called The Huckleberry Hound Show.
Is this the Basset Hound?
He's a Coonhound.
Okay, Okay,
a Huckleberry Hound Show.
I need to look up a picture of him real quick. This does ring a bell.
Do it. I'm going to describe him too in a little bit, but yes, look up a picture of him. Yes. And I was thinking of something else. He's really known for his voice. Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. The Basset Hound, who was like a detective. That would have also been good. That probably would have matched Droopy. Yeah, that would have matched our theme more, because he's a detective. But
no,
from the Wikipedia page on animated cartoon Thanksgiving shows, I couldn't see that on there.
Yeah, that's fine. So, this is like exploding my mind right now. Yes, I do know this dog.
Yes. And so if our parents are listening, they're probably like, what do y'all know about Huckleberry? How you
Oh no,
doing? Come
shit.
on. Yeah. Oh, but let me tell you. Let me tell you, Wikipedia knows. So now I know quite a few things
And
about
now I'm
Huckleberry
about to
Hound.
know.
Yes. So this episode is from season 2, episode 2 of the Huckleberry Hound show. It is called Grim Pilgrim. So again, right on brand with our Thanksgiving themes. And get this, it aired on September 21st, 1959. To
Wait,
us, that seems like so long ago. I'm like not going to
1959?
59,
This is
1959.
so dumb. My immediate reaction was like, they had colored cartoons. Huckleberry Hound's blue. How'd they do that?
How they make him color? I mean, it was only the second Hanna-Barbera series, so it's not, I mean, it was still pretty new, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, but well, okay. Snow White, though, the movie came out in like 1930 something.
I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
I was like, this is such a dumb
so it wasn't actually,
response.
yeah.
I just had to be honest with you guys. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
But Technicolor came around in like the 80s or something like that. So that was like the more vibrant coloring and everything. But they had animation. But also
the fucking
I
Stone
mean,
Age Grace. The Depression.
The Depression. Wow. Yeah, they couldn't afford colored pencils back then. I'm not even sure though that Snow White was the first animated. Fantasia might have come out. This now we're going down Tangent Avenue, but Fantasia might have come out before.
And I think Snow White was like
I think that was the
Disney.
first. Okay, one of those two was the first.
Someone's gonna tell
we're
us
not
probably.
Here. Exactly.
We're here to talk
in
about
the comments.
Huckleberry Hound.
Not that. Yeah, we're not here to talk about Disney. Today we're talking about actually their direct competitor, Hanna-Barbera.
Exactly.
So the Huckleberry Hound show. Yeah, the second series produced by Hanna-Barbera Productions. The show itself first aired on September 29th, 1958. So getting ready to celebrate the anniversary of this show as of our recording date of this episode.
For real.
And get this, I thought this was very funny to like put us in the mindset of how TV worked back then. The
Clearly,
show
I don't know. Already. Okay, let me hear it.
The show was like straight up directly sponsored by Kellogg's, like the food brand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And when I say sponsored by Kellogg's, I mean like Kellogg's put this shit on the air because Joseph Barbera himself, the one half of Hanna-Barbera, he literally like traveled to Chicago, where I guess at the time Kellogg's offices were, or like they were headquarters, to pitch this program to Kellogg's executives through their ad agency. So I imagine that literally every single ad break had like Kellogg's commercials going, and that there was like a bunch of like product placement. And
that's what I was gonna say.
Like
did you notice
Hound toys and shit?
I was say, did you notice like while watching the show, are they eating a lot of cereal by like pure happenstance?
So to be fair, I only watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and this one in particular isn't like a good example because it's like a Pilgrim episode. Yeah, but now it really does make me want to go back and watch. But so where I watched it, it's like from the Internet Archive, which I think we used before for like the Amazing Chan. So they only have the clips of the episodes. And I'll explain the way the show works even more in a bit, but like they only have the clips of Huckleberry's segments of the show. So it's not like you see the entire program with like the ads in between. But I would love to find some like YouTube footage or some archive footage of like what the full like 30-minute block looked like, because
what that experience was.
I imagine, or to like look up like Kellogg's cereal boxes and shit from back in the day. I guarantee you they were just laden with all that stuff. Probably just had Huckleberry Hound, and as I'll get to in a moment, some other very famous cartoon characters just all over them. So yes, the series totally sponsored by Kellogg. And additionally, just to add to Kellogg's like ownership of this show, the first time that the series appeared on television, like I said, September 29th, 1958, it was aired at 6 p.m. on a local station in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which also
For Kellogg's.
served the town of Battle Creek, Michigan,
Yep.
the home of Kellogg's cereal.
Yeah, Kellogg's like, we're bringing this shit home.
Yeah, exactly. We want our kids to see how much money we're making off of this product.
Yeah, we're going to have our employees. It's a circular system. We're going to pay them and they're going to give us the money back.
Exactly.
By buying our own products.
That's like how they juice their I don't know if they had Nielsen ratings back then, but it's like how you can tell how many people are watching a program to see if it's marketable for like ad revenue. It's like they force their employees to watch it so that the numbers go up.
That's like when you like clock in the morning, you have to like say what happened in last night's episode.
Huckleberry Hound.
Did your kids watch? Or they're actually probably like asking the kids, because I'm sure there were children working there because child labor.
Exactly. Exactly. Which, well, that's a whole other story. But anyway, so the format of the show is pretty interesting. So over the whole like 21-minute block, because you got to leave 9 minutes for commercials, obviously, there were 3 7-minute cartoons spread out throughout the program.
Okay.
So the first one was always Huckleberry Hound, who kind of like got the show going, and he was kind of like the ringleader of the entire show, almost like the MC of the show, with it being the Huckleberry Hound show. The second, actually, let me hold off on that. The third segment was usually one by the name of Pixie and Dixie and Mr. Jinx, which sounds adorable, and I definitely want to watch that too. But it starred 2 mice, I think Pixie and Dixie, who in each short were like finding a new way to outwit the cat, Mr. Jinx. Classic. So honestly, like precursor to Tom and Jerry, it sounds like, although actually, I don't know what year Tom and Jerry came out, so I can't say that. We
don't know any years. We don't know what's happening.
But to me, it literally sounds like Tom and Jerry, just with 2 mice instead of 1. In the second segment, going back here, of the Huckleberry Hound show, introduced none other than Yogi Bear and his sidekick Boo Boo. Yes. These guys, I was gonna say, speaking of
on YouTube, it's on Alexis's wall.
Another plug to watch YouTube. I got a Hanna-Barbera signed picture of Yogi Bear and Boo Boo right behind me.
Wait.
So, yes, the Huckleberry Hound show introduced Yogi Bear and Boo Boo to TV. Like, this is where Hanna-Barbera first started creating Yogi Bear segments.
And then it like eventually turned into its own show.
Exactly. It was like, oddly and awkwardly enough for Huckleberry, the Yogi Bear segment was like the most popular one. And so as a result, when Huckleberry Hound ended in like 1961, Hanna-Barbera just did a spinoff and did the Yogi Bear show in 1961.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. I did not know that all this time. Well, so first off, I didn't even really know that the Huckleberry Hound show was like a 3-part, like a 3-segment thing. I just kind of thought that he was a random character that popped up in different Hanna-Barbera shows. But I especially did not know that that's how Yogi Bear started, which, I mean, other than like Scooby-Doo and a couple of, and like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, etc., like I'd like to say Yogi Bear is probably one of the most recognizable cartoon characters like ever. So it's really cool to see that.
Yeah.
Hey, boo-boo. Yes.
Like, that's all you have to say, and everyone automatically knows.
Yogi Bear. I know.
Yeah.
Jellystone Park.
That is fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting history here. We're seeing it all come together.
It's all coming together.
It's coming together. So, but anyway, about the star of our show today, and of course of the Huckleberry Hound show. Huckleberry is, as you just looked up his picture, he's a blue anthropomorphic coonhound that speaks with a Tennessee Southern drawl. And he's usually wearing like this small yellow top hat that has like a red band around it with polka dots on it. And in his show, or in his shorts on the show, most of them consist of him, we'll call him Huck kind of affectionately, trying to perform jobs in different fields, ranging from policeman to, ironically, dog catcher. All sorts of odd jobs, and almost always with results that backfire in these odd jobs. But in the end, Huck usually comes out on top, either through slow persistence or just sheer luck and happenstance. Another fun fact, or like what I thought is interesting and kind of funny, especially the way that the Wikipedia page phrases this, Huck doesn't seem to exist in a specific time period.
Time traveling
Like a time
Coonhound.
traveler, yeah. Because in some episodes apparently he like portrays a Roman gladiator, in others he's a medieval knight, sometimes he's a rocket scientist. Today we're going to see him as a pilgrim. So yeah, he's literally a time traveling coonhound
That's
with a
probably
Tennessee
why
Southern drawl.
it didn't get like a 5th season. They were like,
People were
society
so
wasn't ready.
No,
They were like,
people were
Yogi
so
Bear's in the
confused.
forest. Done.
Done. It's easy. It's simple. The kids get it.
Yeah.
Their parents get it.
We don't
It
have
doesn't confuse them.
We don't have to talk about we haven't even landed on the moon yet, and this dog is time traveling.
There's dogs on Mars. How?
Too much for our brains
Yeah.
in 1959.
And he's blue. Why is he blue and wearing a top hat?
It was beyond its time.
Oh god. And so the last kind of or at least like one of the last things I'll say is that it's funny because it pops up in this episode, and I think honestly in like every episode of his show, one of Huck's trademarks is that he does, according to Wikipedia, a tone deaf and inaccurate rendition of "Oh My Darling Clementine," which is a running gag. So it's this song, you know, like "Oh My Darling, oh my darling," that one, yeah. So he's always just kind of like humming that song or like whistling it or singing it, but every time the lyrics are different. Like he just says random shit in that tone. It's hilarious. Like he does it in this episode too, which is funny because this song came out in like the late 1800s, but this episode takes place in like the 1600s. So again, he's a time traveler.
Yeah, it was to him, he could be singing like David Bowie for all we know. He's been to the 70s and the 80s. Came back a little bit.
It like terrifies the like knights and like the other like witch. Roman gladiators.
Yeah. Who is this Ziggy Stardust? Burn them.
Who is that Ziggy Stardust?
Why is
like
he on Mars?
All the makeup, like super inspired.
But he's blue, so he has to do the red and white part of the makeup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so then I guess as the last and perhaps somewhat most obvious like fun fact about this character, Huckleberry, his name is, of course, and indeed a reference to the American novel The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, written by Mark Twain. So I just thought that was a fun fact to throw in there.
For all we know, Mark Twain was inspired by Huckleberry when he time traveled back to visit Mark Twain. He was like, hear me out for a book idea. Huck.
Hear me out for a book idea. He has like, in my opinion, one of the most recognizable cartoon voices too. Like, even though I haven't watched that many episodes of Huckleberry Hound, as soon as I watched this one, I was like, oh my God, I know that voice so much. Okay. Not like the voice actor, but just like that Southern voice. Tennessee drawl, like he talks like this all the time and drags his words out. And apparently this is now an aside, but the guy who voiced him, whose name I'm forgetting, but he was inspired by his wife's, this is weird too, his wife's neighbor's accent. His wife lived in like North Carolina or something like that. And he would go to visit his wife. I don't know how marriages worked back then, but he would go to visit his wife and her family in North Carolina, and he would talk with her neighbor, and he had this like Southern drawl and talked like this all the time. Funny. And so that's what he used like as an inspiration for Huckleberry. And I guess if our parents are listening, or aunts and uncles, anything like that, you may be familiar with him, but also apparently his voice is very similar to Andy Griffith and the Andy Griffith Show too. Cool. Something like that, which was also inspired, I think, by either like a Tennessee or like North Carolina kind of like hillbilly Southern voice. Yeah. So anyway. Also,
I love the idea that we're just like the only people who could be watching in that age group are our aunts, uncles, and parents. Like no one else over 50 has discovered our show unless they're related to us.
related to us. I like to think otherwise, but yeah,
But we
it's
always
probably
pose it that
true.
way of like,
Yeah.
not like, oh, so if you were born in this time area, we're like, only these people related to
Oh,
us who are our elders will know.
my bad. Anyone watching or listening who is over 55 years old,
May know.
you may be familiar with Andy Griffith and or Huckleberry Hound. My bad. Not just our aunts, uncles, and parents. So, okay, that's enough about the background of this show, how amazing it is, how historic it is for cartoon history. Let's talk about this episode. Again, it's called Grim Pilgrim. So, and actually, okay, one last thing I will say. Grace in the past has already done a great recap of like the Mayflower and Plymouth Rock and all of that. So I suggest go back and listen to that episode from, I think, our last Thanksgiving arc, where she talked about all of that, because I'm not going to get into the history of everything today.
Yeah. We've already gotten to cartoon history.
Exactly. That's what I was more focused on today. The cartoon history, not the actual real world history. Although Huckleberry's a time travel, as far as I know. He is real. There. He could have been there.
Yeah, we don't know.
So the episode, though, it takes place in, of course, Plymouth, Massachusetts. And all we see are just a bunch of rolling hills here covered in snow. The trees are barren. And as the narrator for the episode explains, life for the early pilgrims is indeed very grim, where each day is a constant struggle for survival and a constant struggle against Mother Nature.
Also, and so parents just came back from war 10 years ago. And then it's like
traumatized
every day is a struggle. And you're like having their like newborn, like their children watch it, like damn, Hanna-Barbera.
That, like, I just put it lightly what the narrator is saying. He's like alluding to like starvation, like how terrible and hard it is for like
is
life
all true,
out here.
But like damn,
geez. Like, dude, this is a children's show. Ease back a little bit.
Grim.
They were, and you'll see even more so in a bit about how just wild TV was back then, the things that they could put in cartoons.
Oh, God.
Okay. So in the middle of this barren, hilly town of nothingness rests a single log cabin, totally snowed in and isolated. But living inside of this isolated log cabin is Alden Huckleberry, as the narrator calls him, aka Huckleberry Hound's Pilgrim alter ego, time-traveling Pilgrim alter ego.
Giving Wishbone vibes.
It is all Wishbone. I wish that was a cartoon so we could talk about that show.
Favorite show of all time.
Good. Anyways, so Huckleberry, in like total Wishbone fashion, he's donning like the classic stereotypical pilgrim fit. You know, like what you think of, the brown like suit with the buckle and like the hat with the buckle on it and everything. And he's carrying a musket. He bravely exits his cabin in search of a feast to enjoy on this cold, snowy, brutal day in Plymouth. And always up for a challenge and ever the positive thinker, Alden, or Huckleberry, joyfully treads through the snow while humming, of course, Oh, My Darling Clementine, which I mentioned earlier, did not come out until the late 1800s. So if there were any other people like around listening to him, they're like, what is this witchcraft?
What is this devilry?
What is this music? This devil music.
Burn him. For warmth in this grim winter.
Yes. How dare he bless our ears with such beautiful noise. Burn him at the
We're
stake.
Miserable.
Yes. So Alden Huckleberry makes his way towards the forest in search of game, in particular, the wild turkey. And as he approaches the wooded area, he becomes more vigilant, using his self-described stellar pilgrim skills to search high and low for these vicious, cunning, evil birds, evil fowl, which, like, we're going to shit on turkeys a lot today. We've done it in the past, I know. We're going to keep that going today because these motherfuckers are evil. Okay? They're, like, right up there with geese in terms of, like, birds that I do not like to be around.
Which is so funny. My neighborhood is overrun with turkeys.
Yeah, aren't they like they're like mobs of them, right? They're like
Yeah,
gangs.
they literally the gangs of New York, but turkeys is my neighborhood. We've got the Irish turkey.
You've got the American Irish turkeys, you've got the Irish immigrant turkeys. They all
The
come up and look at
Italian
each other.
turkeys.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild over here.
And then they want to boycott the war and the draft. It's just the whole thing.
Someone with a switchblade yesterday.
Oh my God. Holy shit. After, as he's walking towards the woods, and after thinking out loud about his love of turkey, particularly turkey meat for eating,
Okay.
the only acceptable way to be around turkey, and how he's talking out loud and thinking to himself about the wonderful feast that the bird will provide, Huckleberry looks down and notices a clear line of turkey tracks leading deeper into the woods, aka like little turkey footprints or like claw prints, whatever the fuck they have. So Huckleberry, he buckles down, he gets serious, he like holds his musket at the ready, and he starts to follow the trail of the turkey with his God-given radar for bird tracking. But he's almost a little too in tune with this tracking radar that he has, and he spends too much time looking down and like straight ahead rather than kind of like looking around him, because he ends up walking right by a turkey that's standing right off the main trail and just kind of like staring right at him, right at Huckleberry as he's like power walking by.
Okay.
I will also say another trademark of Huckleberry Hound is that he's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Okay, clearly.
Clearly.
Yes.
Like I said before, he usually only achieves his goals in each episode by like sheer luck.
Okay,
It's not because he's some like smart guy who always knows how to like win out in the
Sherlock
end.
Holmesing
It's happenstance. Exactly.
Okay.
Not at all Sherlock Holmes. Definitely not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yep.
So this turkey, though, he sees Huckleberry like power walking by with his musket, and the turkey's like curious, like, the fuck is this dog Pilgrim doing with a musket walking by? So the turkey begins to just follow Huckleberry closely, staying right on his trail. And Huckleberry, though, even though he's like so into this like hunting, he can sense that a turkey is nearby, but he just can't put his finger on where it may be. So he begins to let out what he calls his turkey call, aka he just starts like making a very loud and rapid like gobbling sound in order to draw out the nearest bird. And as no surprise to us, we then hear a gobble response right behind him, because the turkey is still right on Huckleberry's tail. So Huckleberry hears this and he like quickly turns around, and excitedly he sees this evil, nefarious turkey that's just been stalking him for who knows how many yards through the snow. And so Huckleberry, he pulls his musket up and he aims it directly in the face of the turkey. And very kindly, I guess it's the what were Pilgrims? Were they Puritans? I forget. Or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
It's whatever in him that then asks the turkey if he has any last requests before it meets its maker.
Oh, okay.
But being a turkey, the bird simply just like shakes his head. Like, no.
What?
It doesn't even speak.
Yeah.
What?
Gobble, gobble?
Gobble, gobble. And it just stands there, literally looking straight into the barrel of this musket that Huckleberry is pointing right at its face. But Huckleberry, he has a really large heart and a very small brain. And in the season and spirit of giving and giving thanks, he offers the turkey a number of things before killing it. Because he's like, oh, come on, you got to like want something before I kill you. Like anything. And this is where I was like, damn, cartoons were crazy back then.
Uh-oh.
Because the first thing he offers him, he's like, cigarettes? Like,
not only sponsored by Kellogg's, sponsored
by Marlboro. Yeah. Philip Morris.
Oh my God.
he literally pulls out a whole pack of cigarettes with like one of them sticking out. So you can like, you see the whole label and everything. To be fair, it's not actually like Philip Morris or anything. It's
but still like
generic, whatever. But like,
it says
like
cigarette.
mild cigarettes, all of that on it. And he's just holding it straight up to the camera. Like, here, take a cigarette.
Cut to someone in like Battle Creek, Michigan being like, hey kid, by the way, hand me a cigarette while you watch this show. And the small child's like, here you go, Mom.
Here you go, Dad. Yeah.
Like
yeah, exactly. I actually almost wonder, well, maybe that's a research project for another day, but if Kellogg was like, yeah, or like what ownership stake they had in like Philip Morris or whatever back then.
My God.
I don't know. Anyway. So yes, Huckleberry offers him a cigarette, which I just think is fucking hilarious. That would never happen in a cartoon.
Today, literally, if you start like a Netflix episode, like it will say like give the warnings at the top, and then it will say tobacco.
Yeah, like this depicts smoking. Like shit gets rated like PG just for a cigarette being in it, which is insane. Also, if you ask me, but like whatever.
But like I guess compared to this time period, this is why it no longer happens of kid shows being like, you want a cigarette before you die?
Exactly. Kid. And also, thinking like as a kid, realizing, when you die, like you ask for a cigarette. It's not even just like showing kids cigarettes, it's like implanting it in their mind. Like, I just need a cigarette before the stressful thing happens. Exactly.
Damn. Some integrated marketing.
It is. So, yes, he offers him cigarettes. And then after that, he offers the turkey a blindfold. And then after it is dark. And after the turkey turns both of those things down. I'm sorry. Huckleberry is like, well, anything there, you want at least one last chance to make your peace. Anything. I know. Cigarettes and a blindfold.
Yeah.
Nice. But this frustrates Alden Huckleberry that the turkey doesn't want any of this stuff because, like I said, his Puritan heart, he feels like it's difficult to kill something without, giving it mercy or at least like putting it at ease or at peace first. Okay. And because all this time that he is offering this stuff to the turkey and pointing his gun in its face, he's looking directly into the turkey's deep brown eyes. And he's like, man, I can't kill you if you're just staring at me with those deep eyes. How am I supposed to do this? So he makes one last plea for the turkey to at least put on the blindfold. And he shows him even. Huckleberry puts the blindfold on himself. Like, see, you just put it on like this, and then you can't see anything at all. It'll make it so much easier. Which again, dark.
So dark. And also like the psychological, like, look, I can't look into your eyes while I murder you, so put a blindfold on so I don't have to look into your eyes. This is for me, not for you.
It's like textbook sociopathy. Yeah.
I need to dehumanize you so I can kill you.
Yeah.
Damn, Huck.
Damn, Huckleberry, man. Huck is savage. From Alden Huckleberry. But while Huckleberry is blinded, while he's demonstrating how the blindfold method works to the turkey, this evil mofo of a turkey, he sneaks the musket out of Huckleberry's hand and shoots him directly in the face.
I thought you were just going to be like, the turkey walked away.
This turkey has been playing dumb with Huckleberry. He's like, I'm just a turkey. I don't know anything about this stuff. Give me that musket.
How do you think this turkey survived through winter thus far? It's killed before, it'll kill again.
Huckleberry is not his first rodeo. This is not the first time, clearly, this turkey has used a musket. It knew immediately how this shit works.
You got to prepare that shit. Yes. Like our modern guns. This is a process, not turkey.
Yes. Oh my God. So the turkey shoots him right in the face and then just turns around and fucking books it out of there, gobbling all loudly and running and hopping away.
Oh my God.
And Huckleberry, he pretty much just like slaps himself in the forehead, like, God damn it, how did I fall for that? Like, he knows how vicious, evil, and cunning these birds always have been and always will be.
Always.
There is one constant in life. Turkeys are freaking evil.
Survival of the fittest.
Yes. Yes. So he like clears all of the gunpowder off of his face and he runs off after the turkey who so by the way, it's not like the turkey ran away with the musket. The turkey just kind of like shot
Dropped
him,
it.
dropped the musket, and then ran off.
Yeah,
So
the turkey's like, I
Huckleberry
don't have
is
more bullets. This will be
yeah,
useless for me.
exactly. Huckleberry's got all the ammo in his little satchel or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Huckleberry picks back up his musket and he takes off after the turkey, chasing it along all these snowy hills and through the woods. But for whatever reason, he's still hesitating to shoot it. I guess he probably can't get good aim on it because this thing is like jumping around,
And he just got
running.
shot in the face. So
Yeah,
like
he also probably has no eyesight for the moment.
yeah,
So, or
just
maybe ever again. Yes. So the turkey, it finally creates some distance between him and Huckleberry, outrunning him. And it takes shelter near a rock. Not Plymouth Rock, though, unfortunately. At least I don't think so.
rock.
They don't look like they're by the water. And this turkey begins gobbling away, almost as if he's like baiting Huckleberry to continue to chase after him. Like, this thing is freaking evil, Grace. I'm like, wow, okay. I thought the Pilgrims were bad. No. If they had to deal with turkeys like this, I'm going to give them a little bit of sympathy here.
I have some turkey wild speculation at the end of this.
Okay, good. And there are some twists here. A big twist is about to come up. So,
okay.
But we'll see. Put a pin in that. I do want to hear it. So after the turkey gobbles, though, trying to bait Huckleberry towards him, the turkey is surprised to hear yet another turkey call coming from behind him, from behind the turkey.
Okay.
This one is in a bit of a deeper tone, whereas Huckleberry's is like, gobble, gobble, gobble. This one that he hears is gobble, gobble, gobble. And so the turkey turns around and sees a Native American with like a full like war headdress, war bonnet on with like feathers and stuff. Perhaps this is a Patuxent Wampanoag, as you talked about in last year's. Exactly. Everyone go back and listen to Grace's recap of Pilgrim history and Plymouth Rock history. She covered that last year. I'm not going to cover it today. But anyway, we see this Native American crouched down behind the rock, also trying to hunt this turkey now.
Oh, okay.
And so the turkey sees this dude and he's like, oh shit, he's starting to get worried because he also hears the gobbling calls of Huckleberry getting closer.
Oh, okay.
So the turkey is like, oh shit, I am literally between a rock and a hard place. I now have two skilled hunters on my tail. Skilled.
A skilled hunter and Huckleberry.
One skilled hunter and Huckleberry. but ever the cunning and devious creature. I'm just gonna keep shitting on turkeys.
I bet turkeys are fucking watching my window right now hearing this shit. You're making my life dangerous.
Have fun. You're
putting me in danger with this content.
I don't think I've mentioned this. You probably have more than I do, which is why I didn't even think to mention it. But I have turkeys here by my place too.
What?
Which is, yes.
Okay, that's scary shit.
Because I live like very close to the city and like in a very developed area.
Yeah, it makes sense for me.
Austin, my brother, was in town one time and he and I were like walking along the paths in my building. And thank God it's fenced off from like the wooded area behind me, because he looked over while we were walking once and he was like, there's a fucking turkey. And I was like, what? And I looked over.
Survival of the fittest. Those turkeys know how to use guns.
Yes. Dude, if they knew how to climb fences, we would be done.
Dude, they fucking do. They get on the roofs out here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I've seen them jump off of the roofs in my neighborhood. Turkeys can do wild shit. They like glide. Yeah. Watch out. Good thing you're moving soon.
Yeah, I know. God. Yeah, because that was literally like the only time that I saw them, but we saw like 3 or 4 of them all just kind of like plucking along back there. Yep. And I'm trying to think, I don't even remember what time of year that was. I feel like he visited in like the late summer maybe. So I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing here?
These turkeys are a direct ancestor of the Plymouth Rock turkeys.
Oh my God.
They've killed, they will kill again.
Get the fuck out while you can. Anyway, so yes, the turkey though, in this case, it realizes that, yes, it's got 2 hunters, a hunter and Huckleberry on its tail, but it realizes that it now has the power to turn these opposing hunters against one another. and it
Ooh.
crafts a plan to get away scot-free. So,
okay.
rather than responding to Huckleberry's turkey call, the turkey, he allows Huckleberry and this Native American to just start gobbling turkey calling at each other. And so they're each like hearing each other's very convincing and authentic calls. And it leads each of them to believe that the other is a real turkey. So the turkey is like, okay, cool. Like my job here is done. So he takes shelter, hides behind this rock, while Huckleberry and the Native American, they just keep gobbling back and forth at each other, knowing that it's only a matter of time before one of them shoots or like throws a tomahawk at the other.
This turkey's just eating popcorn.
Literally like sipping its tea.
Yeah.
Like, this is just great. Like, front row seat.
My feathers are clean.
Yes.
Not a care in the world.
And just as the turkey suspects, it's not long before Huckleberry fires his musket in the direction of the Native American's turkey sounds, convinced that Huckleberry has just scored himself a hearty meal for the next few days. But unfortunately, rather than shooting what he thinks obviously is the turkey, the Pilgrim, Huckleberry, shoots directly at the head of the Native American.
Oh no, okay.
Thankfully not killing him.
Okay.
But blowing his feathered headdress right off of his head. So like an inch shy, a centimeter shy of killing him. Ladies and gentlemen, this means war. This turkey has just instigated a massive Pilgrim / Native American conflict.
Again, the turkey sipping his tea. What you gonna do?
This is like actually the history of like the founding of America. Like, no. For the most part, the natives and the Pilgrims got along fine, but for whatever reason, one of them just shot at a Pilgrim shot at a Native American one day because a turkey puts.
Didn't Benjamin Franklin want to make our national bird as turkey? Like,
I'm so glad he lost. I love
or
Benjamin Franklin,
Thomas Jefferson. I don't know who the fuck wanted to do it, but like. That was almost our national bird was a turkey. This is why they knew the truth.
I respect Benjamin Franklin too much to believe that he did that. So we're going to say it was Thomas Jefferson because I can't stand him. But Ben Franklin, please no.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck it was. George Washington. I don't know what it might have been.
It might have been.
Either way, someone knew the truth, and we're revealing it right here, right now.
Although the eagle is not much better than the turkey. Perhaps it's more magnificent and like majestic looking. But those motherfuckers are mean too. So I don't know.
Just like America.
It's such a beautiful, majestic, magnificent place. But goddamn, they are some assholes. Mean motherfucker. Facts. True. They chose wisely with that one. So anyway, right after being shot damn near in the head, the Native American, he stands up from behind the rock. And Huckleberry sees what he's done. And he's like, oh, shit. He immediately realizes the errors of his ways and knows that this is absolutely 100% about to cause some conflict between the two, as it should. Yes. You just shot me pretty much in the head.
Yep. Point blank.
Parks and Rec reference, too. That just made me think of the episode where they go turkey hunting in Parks and Rec and Ron gets shot in the head.
And Leslie is like nursing him in his cabin. Oh yeah, because it's also the hunting trip. He didn't want any of them on.
Exactly. He didn't want any of the women there in the first place. And then they came, and then he gets shot in the head. Not by a woman, though, Correct. I will say. Leslie was actually a fantastic hunter, if I recall. Yes. Anyway, for those,
he's just so mad.
Grace and I have been talking about Parks and Rec all morning, pretty much before we hit record. Yep. So all roads lead to Parks and Rec. All roads lead to Pawnee.
Thank God.
So anyway, the Native American, he runs towards Huckleberry at full speed, pulling out a tomahawk and chanting his war cry, aka signaling for backup in some ways, and also letting Huckleberry know that, like, yeah, dude, you're about to die. I'm about to kill you.
Cool.
But rather than running away or surrendering, Huckleberry, he's like, all right, well, I guess I better get my musket filled up. Like he starts leaning into the fighting spirit. So he's reloading his musket. Like you mentioned before, it's a whole fucking process. He's pouring in the gunpowder and tampering it and putting the musket balls or the bullets in, whatever. All this just as a Native American is running closer and closer and closer to him. And like extremely savagely, Huckleberry waits for the Native American to literally get like inches in front of him before he just point blank fires the musket directly in his face.
What the fuck? 1959. And he doesn't offer him a cigarette beforehand?
Oh, no. So,
this is the first example of stand your ground laws in America. This is where it was founded.
This is where it was founded. Who knew? Massachusetts. I thought that was a more liberal state. I guess not. What the fuck? Insane. But thankfully, Huckleberry, not the best hunter, not the sharpest tool in the shed. He must have skipped a step or done something wrong when he was reloading his gun. Because all we hear is a loud bang. And yes, an explosion from the gunpowder does go off. But for whatever reason, the musket ball is very slow to roll out the barrel and just like simply plops out of the musket.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it lands right on the Native American's foot, this big ass heavy musket ball, which of course sends the Native American into like screaming and shouting and holding and grabbing his foot.
Yeah.
And pisses him off even more.
Correct.
But since he currently cannot move or run, it does give Huckleberry a chance to get the fuck out of there and find some safety.
Okay.
So, like you mentioned before, like I was kind of saying before, the turkey, he's totally just enjoying this like Pilgrim / like Patuxent conflict that he's just instigated. He's just like smiling, looking back and forth like, oh, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
He's like, I'm going to Franz Ferdinand this shit, start a world war here. Genius.
So he comes out from behind that rock that he was hiding behind, and now that he sees Huckleberry take off, he starts chasing after Huckleberry like, yeah, let me just like still like, I don't know,
I'll make him think more people are following him.
Yes. And he's just gobbling loudly as he's running through the snow behind the Pilgrim. So Huckleberry, though, he hears this gobbling again. He's like, oh yeah, shit, I can still get my turkey. I might as well shoot it. And so he, like, again, prepares his musket, still dead set on completing a successful hunt before this Native American can catch back up with him. And at this point, like we said, the turkey, he's totally fucking with Huckleberry, as if he wasn't before. Now he is even more so. He quickly climbs up a tree and rests on this high up branch. And so Huckleberry, he's loading up his musket with more musket balls, like these heavy ass bullets. And he just points it directly, like straight up towards the turkey in this tree and starts firing away. But just after he fires, the Native American man catches up with him and points a bow and arrow right into Huckleberry's face, ready to attack. But again, gravity saves Huckleberry's life. And each and every one of the musket balls, of which there were about a dozen that he loaded in there, misses the turkey and one by one drops back down right onto the Native American's head. Just like, even more enraged now.
Correct.
The Native American whips back out his tomahawk, swings it at Huckleberry, barely missing him as he ducks and makes a run for it. This shit is violent. Like they are just one after another attacking each other. But since the Native American man misses Huckleberry, he instead actually strikes the tree that Huckleberry was standing in front of. And this dude must be strong, because one hit with the tomahawk and this shit instantly causes the tree to just like start to keel over.
Damn, okay.
And the turkey is still in it. He's still just like chilling. Yeah. So this turkey's like watching this going on. But he's like, oh shit, no, I'm going down.
Don't bring me into this.
Motherfucker, you started this. I don't know. Don't bring me in.
Wow,
What? What?
Innocent bystander.
In the classic American fashion. A tale as old as time. How many wars does this sound like? Whoa,
Damn,
whoa.
1959 is getting a lot of
I didn't
metaphors.
start anything. Don't, how dare you make us
Whoa.
fund this? What?
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 Pilgrim? Never even heard of it. Wow, wow. Hanna-Barbera, edgy.
Edgy, super edgy.
Edgy as hell.
Amazing that they remained as popular as they did for so long. So the tree comes down. The turkey is now trapped under the branches and the bark of the tree, and he is now totally up for grabs by either party. And of course, seeing that the turkey is there, trapped, unable to run away, both Huckleberry and the Native American like grab hold of it. They're like literally grabbing its neck, like like strangling this thing.
Oh
the
God.
Turkey's just like, oh shit. It was a good ride. The turkey had a good ride. But exactly, karma is a beautiful thing. So seeing that the turkey is the true villain in all of this, Huckleberry tells the chief, like, now hold on a second, chief. Can't we just settle our differences over the table, the dinner table? And then they both, like, they look at each other, they kind of nod affirmatively, and then they look at the turkey with the anger and the hunger of a hard day's hunt. And I suppose that this is implying that this is the real story of how the first Thanksgiving went down.
And just like also like the bonding while they still strangle together, just like,
I know.
Yeah, this will be settled.
Looking in each other's eyes as they're strangling this
like
turkey.
Trauma bonding, but like murder bonding.
Murder bonding. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing.
And so seeing that these two opposing sides are now on the same page, the turkey looks panicked, increasingly like panicked and afraid. Also, that it's being strangled to death, but it realizes that its goose is cooked. See how I put in those two evil birds into one?
That you would like to kill both of.
Yes. But yet another plot twist to round out this episode. In the next scene, we do see Huckleberry sharpening his carving knife, telling the chief that there's nothing that can't be resolved if you just sit at the table and talk turkey. And the camera zooms out, and we then see Huckleberry joined at the table by the chief and the fucking evil ass turkey. Still alive.
That turkey did some quick fucking gobbling right there.
I need to know what the turkey did in its last minute there before they were like, wait, let's kill it to convince him. Like, oh, no, guys, hold on. I got a good idea.
Again, a metaphor for America.
Yes.
Like, wait, how were you guys not the ones in the middle of this at the end?
Yeah. How did this happen? Because yes, Huckleberry is not preparing to carve up the turkey. Instead, he's preparing to cut up this like giant random sausage. It's just like a giant hot dog, essentially, that's in the middle of this table. And so the three of them sit for what we can only assume is the first Thanksgiving feast in America.
Wow.
And they just laugh and gobble at each other while they're enjoying their meal, giving thanks for the camaraderie they've built and putting all of the violence from earlier in the day behind them.
Wow.
The end.
Wow. What a fucking plot twist.
Multiple. Yes.
Holy hell.
Insane. I need to hear your turkey speculation though that you had. I don't even care if the plot twist changed at all.
Okay, hold on. I
still need to hear.
To spend 0.8 seconds looking it up really quick.
Okay. While you do that though, I will just say, this episode was pretty short because like I mentioned before, all these episodes are only 7 minutes long. So there's only, so much you can do with it. But
that was amazing because it had so many.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, here's my wild turkey, wild speculation about the turkeys.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the lost colony of Roanoke? Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah, with like which isn't, well, okay, well, never
So
mind, go ahead.
basically, like the long and short is like, yeah, like 400 years ago, it was like something like 120-ish pilgrims, or like, I don't know if they're technically pilgrims or not. Who knows? Basically, they
Settlers.
made a settlement on Roanoke Island in the US, and Virginia, then just like disappeared out of nowhere. Like the only things that were left was like, I think like some marking, like mysterious like symbols carved into a tree, which is like thus given like speculation of like witches. In reality, it was like most likely like disease or famine, Native Americans, or like
fucking
Spaniards
cold,
or something like that came and killed them. But it's like so spooky because there's like no trace of them at all.
Yeah, which is terrifying.
Turkeys. It was the turkeys. Who fucking did it? They clawed into the tree the mystery symbols to make it seem like it was their talons, to make it seem like witchcrafty and shit. That was the turkeys for Thanksgiving.
It on the witches.
Uh-huh. They were like,
motherfuckers want to eat us, we'll eat you.
Yeah, because you know that this turkey at this episode's Thanksgiving was sitting there the whole time like, this is a really good time, right? Like counting down the seconds before they could get the fuck out of that dinner where they could have been dinner at any second. Like, this is a tense dinner, I bet. Like, they are not as friendly as we may
They're not
think.
Really friends.
They're just like, they all have a weapon like right underneath the table waiting.
Yeah, and they're all just starving and need something. They're like, I don't want to die from starvation. So
we have one hot dog.
Yeah.
I'm fucking hungry still. And so that turkey made it through that dinner, booked it out of there, and then told all his turkey friends what went down, and they were like, we gotta stop it. This was the Turkey Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
What happened on Roanoke Island? Slaughtered those settlers.
The damn turkeys.
So that's my wild speculation, is that they were
amazing.
The actual cause of Roanoke Island mystery.
We need to call up some historians because I think you've just unlocked something here. You've unlocked the key.
Just saying.
And honestly, I would not put it past, I think, was it a gaggle of turkeys, maybe?
I don't know.
Or I know it's a gaggle of geese, I think, whatever. A mob, a gang of turkeys to blame this shit on witches.
Yeah, they've been put, like, again, he was literally trying to put the blame on the Pilgrims or the Native American in this episode.
Exactly. He knew. They like monitor human activity and stuff to know who the
they're like
who the
political
are,
geniuses.
Yeah.
We're on Roanoke. They're like, these Puritans, we can tell, really hate witches. Let's carve some symbols in that tree.
Turkeys are the CIA of the animal kingdom.
Right, they've infiltrated every aspect. I mean, why do you think they're walking around DC? Just saying.
Man,
they fucking know. You know the internet meme / conspiracy that birds are fake and are just cameras?
Yeah.
They're just minions of the turkeys. Turkeys are the only actual birds.
Every other bird is like a drone or a camera created by the turkey. This is why a turkey gets pardoned every year by the White House, by the president.
They fucking know.
They know. The president's like, no, please. I'm sorry. We'll pardon you. I swear.
Yeah, exactly. Damn.
And the turkeys that we eat on Thanksgiving are the ones that went rogue from the turkey order. So that's like their death sentence.
I mean, again, just like America, the turkeys are like, you win some, you lose some. You got to make some sacrifices.
Exactly.
They were weak.
We're weak.
Yeah, they're fucking, like you said earlier, savage. These fucking turkeys.
When I was writing the script, I was running out of like descriptive words to use to describe, like vicious, savage, cunning, devious, mischievous, evil. I was like, I can't think. I should have had thesaurus.com up. Yeah, I was like, how many more of these words can I use? Yeah.
Damn, I hope the turkeys don't hear this episode in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I know.
You'll never hear from me again. This is why.
Yeah. Or maybe me either now. And I know they can hop over fences.
Again, thank God you're
they
moving.
haven't yet.
Get out of there.
Not even closer into the city.
Yeah. You never
We've
know.
got some problems if so.
Wow, incredible work. That was a whirlwind of an episode.
Thank you. Yes,
I can't wait to watch
credit to
it.
Hanna-Barbera. Yeah, it's amazing, and yeah, it's Internet Archive. I put the link in our episode tracker so you can watch it on there because well, I guess it might be on Boomerang or something too. I don't know if you still have it. I didn't check, but
free trial. I did that one time.
Thank God, free trial, and then you're out.
I live my life.
Nice. So anyway, yes, thank you. That was fun. A lot of history of animation going on there. And we're fully into our Thanksgiving arc now.
Yep.
So can't wait to hear what episode you are going to do next week. And until then, who should they tell about this podcast?
We talked a lot about our neighborhoods in this episode. So I think you should tell your neighbor. I think we've done that before, but in like weird ways of like breaking into your neighbor's house and stuff. Don't do that this time.
Don't do that.
Just like tell your neighbor nicely. Especially, did you move somewhere new? Get to know your new neighbor. Mention this.
In the spirit of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the holidays.
Yeah. Who else should they tell?
I think you should tell, I guess, again, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, a lot of folks do like Friendsgiving things this time of year, or like early Thanksgiving meals with family. If you're lucky enough to be doing that, then tell the folks at your Friendsgiving for your early Thanksgiving feast. Although, how have you not told them already if you're listening to this?
But you guys really
tell them again. Yeah, right.
But remind them, maybe is what we should say.
Exactly. Put on this episode, and some of our others too. Exactly.
And all of them.
Perfect. Start from the beginning, the very beginning, episode 1, and keep it running. Don't let people leave your Friendsgiving until you get through every single
really long Thanksgiving, and you're welcome.
It's like they're there until New Year's. Like, please let us leave. I haven't seen my children in 3 months.
You're welcome. Amazing. Well, we'll see y'all next week.
Cool.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.